Pickaxe.
5-day early access to every Cast Party episode, including Nocturne, ad-free episodes, behind-the-scenes info, exclusive bonus monthly one-shots, access to our community Discord where our community plays D&D games together, has game nights, and hosts so much more, all for less than the price of a single cup of coffee per month. Aren't convinced? Try out a free trial. 7 days free to check out the content that we offer only exclusively on our Patreon. Patreon.com/castparty. Support your favorite D&D podcast, all while getting some awesome perks. Patreon.com/castparty. See you there, cast and crew. Welcome, cast and crew, back to Nocturne, A Curse of Strahd Tale. My name is Ryan McManus, and I will be your director for today. You can find me running the Cast Party socials at CastPartyDND, or on my personals at Ryan.McManus. And I am joined today by my lovely cast and crew, ready to go get some bones, maybe. We have Vince.
Hi, Vince Perino. I'm playing Theren, the Man of Hope seeking retribution. You can find me on whatever socials at Dr. Stoice. It's like Blastoise without the bleh.
We have a Christian.
Hi, gang. I'm Christian. I play Tannis, a chain forged in blood. And you can find me on all my socials at Captain Carlson. It's either Captain Carlson, all lowercase, or CPT Carlson. You'll find me.
Where am I?
Excuse? Bless you? Hi. My name's May. I forgot to tell you it's my birthday, so you should be really nice to me today.
It's your birthday today?
What?
I don't believe you.
You are lying.
Yeah, it's Father's Day.
Wait, no, you said you're like a virgin or something, a Virgo.
What?
A virgin. Keep that in.
Do we clip that, Jack?
Clip that?
First of all, I'm a Libra air
That's
sign.
it.
You know this, Ryan.
Oh, right.
Second of all, I guess if you want to go find my social media after that introduction, it's May LaFay on everything.
And someone I'm not going to be nice to, back for his 8th intro, is Jose.
Hey everyone, my name is Jose. I'll be playing Alizzato, best Beard and Valaki, who happens to be another soul wandering in perpetuity. You can find me on all socials at DMJoseG.
Let's give a little poem recap of what happened last time before we jump right in. The gang's back together, gathered in the town square as they head for the Blue Water Inn, some with banana cream pie throughout their beard hair. They decide to chat upstairs about all that occurred, going one by one, ensuring each voice was heard. They spoke of the bomb, Fiona and her plan, with Zielle as their beacon, though she didn't fully understand. They spoke of the demon and the orphanage in danger, now fully exorcised by two odd strangers. Ollie made his way home on the outskirts of town, while Tannis and Zielle decided Wachter House is where they'd be found. Theren stayed back at the Blue Water Inn, but before Zielle parted ways, Theren's emotions were wearing thin. He finally caved, and Zielle got her hug. As she departed Theren's room, she was quickly struck by an eerie feeling as her door was ajar, throwing it swiftly open, finding the situation quite bizarre. "Close it quick, no one can know I'm here," said the pale, soft-faced man, silver hair tucked behind his ears. "Vasily came to warn you that he can't guarantee your safety, for if he finds out you have the bones, well, the consequences could be weighty." Though keeping her promise to Irina and the bones in her sight, Zielle hugged Vasily and made her way out of the inn for the night. As we shifted outside the walls to a rundown shack, we see Ollie in his home, if you could even call it that. Lying down for the night, tummy warm with pie, he drifted off with pleasant dreams after staring at the fog-filled sky. He awoke to a splash and a call from his mother. "Aliro, what's taking you?" as he would soon discover. He was no longer Alizzato, but a young bright forest elf, about to help his mother in the garden, a druidic lesson to test himself. His mother showed him a small sproutling, a young flower ready to bloom, as Ollie got down on his hands and knees and his entire focus was consumed. Today was the day. He'd finally make it happen. As his eyes scrunched close, he heard a gasp when his mother saw the flower bloom. With pride and love in her eyes, as a giddy Aliro opened his, and to his surprise, saw the bright red flower and a joy like no other, as the dream began to repeat itself, one time after another. With Alizzato and Theren in their respective beds for the night, we are going to follow Zielle out of the Blue Water Inn as she makes her way towards Wachter House. Alone walking the streets at night, You know from the chats with Tannis that Wachter House is the lone house on the top of the hill that rivals the Baron's Manor in size. Quite easy to spot from the lower levels of Vallaki. As you make your way over throughout the cold, brisk night air, you arrive at the front door.
I would like to try something. I'm going to message Tannis.
Ooh, okay.
She'll step back from the front door, and I'll point, probably up to the second floor, wherever I would assume, residences would be. Point up there, and then if he doesn't hear me, I'll do it, a couple more times in different directions. Tannis, can you come outside?
As you point your finger up to the second floor, you protrude out into the ether Tannis from your mind. Nothing comes back. You go to the right side of the house, nothing.
Tannis.
But Tannis, when she points her finger towards the lefternmost side of the bottom floor, you hear a ping in your mind.
Sort of look up from my zoned out stare at the floor in front of the fireplace where I've been sitting for a moment. I will roll my eyes and sigh, but then I walk outside. What?
I figured I had come quickly enough to not wake you, and I didn't think that I would be sleeping anytime soon. I just wanted to ask you maybe a question, just because you have expertise in this subject matter, I suppose. I know your job back home, that you're a bounty hunter, and I know I never really asked that much about it. To be honest, I was kind of scared and didn't really want to know that much about it, but I just kind of assumed that you're a good person and your targets are not. How do you do it? How do you choose to end someone's life?
Tannis will take a moment, doesn't break eye contact with you. 1,000 different thoughts flash across his eyes as you ask this question. As you continue asking this question, you can see him trying to follow where it's going to end. And when you finish with that, not accusation, but that question of moral compass, I think you see his eyes sort of soften for a moment, and he looks back at you and says, Once you have no choice, it's not hard. I think of it this way. Everyone dies. In that one way, everyone is equal. It's just life and death. Why the questions? Why do you want to know? Are you worried about what you're going to have to do?
I know there are people who don't deserve to live and that they are taking other people's lives as well, but especially when we have to choose, we might be choosing to hurt innocent people, good people who want the same thing we want, just so others can have it. Why, it doesn't seem equal if we're the ones choosing. How do we get to do that?
The softness in his eyes hardens again. His eyes go steely. His jaw clenches a bit. I imagine there's a world where you get to pick and choose who's good and who's bad. Kill the bad people. Save the good ones. No one's good, Zielle, not really. The bad people had bad things happen to them, and they're making choices that they think are good. Or they're selfish, and good people are selfish in their own way too. There's no good guys. There's no bad guys. There's just people. But I think as he says this, there's a pain in his eyes that would betray the sentiment, rather than any real, true belief. I think this comes across as something that has been pasted on top of actions, a hindsight justification.
And if your job put a bounty on me, would you kill me because I'm just another person? Or Theren? Ollie? Austria?
He looks back with a mixture of anger and something else. You don't count.
Well, that's good to hear, I guess. Why do you need to kill him? Who says you don't have any choice?
Getting into bounty hunting was not my choice.
Well, you get to choose what you do here. We all do, right?
And it works out well because what we have to do is difficult. And you won't be able to do it. I don't think Theren will be able to do it. I don't know what Alizzato is capable of, but I do know that when the cards are on the table, I can, and I will. And then you can walk away from this and you don't have to look back at yourself and wonder who you became. Just leave it to me, okay?
I'm worried I'm going to have to make those decisions, whether I like to or not. And if I make a decision that causes more people to get hurt than not, then I would regret it. So I just wanted to ask you about it.
Ask yourself in your heart, who do you want to win? There's going to be a conflict. You can't stop that. You can delay it for a while. But these people have been oppressed. One of them's going to come out on top. You ask yourself who you want to win. And you do everything in your power to protect, defend, or to obliterate the other side.
Zielle, Vasily's voice echoes in your head of there's no right answers when it comes to Barovia. After Tannis finishes that.
I want the light to win. I guess I'll just have to trust myself to know which side that is.
But that's you, right? You are the light. Know what they said? The prophecy or whatever it was.
I'm gonna like a very half-hearted like punch in the shoulder, like, shut up. No, that's not what I mean. Just take care of yourself, okay? I know you're good at this, you're ready to dive in. There's 4 of us. We'll work together, no matter what decisions we have to make. Just don't... You matter, okay? Good night. Just gonna walk away.
As you say you matter and turn immediately around to walk away, leveling this thing. Tannis' face, like you just like as you're turning, like his jaw has just dropped slightly. His eyes are you two. What am I talking about? Gods. Turned around and like just angrily walks back inside, sort of muttering, could have said anything else. I could have said anything else.
Zielle, are you heading back to the Blue Water Inn for the night then?
Yeah, that was my plan. I don't want to get into this whole thing with the lady. I don't even know if she's up still. Like, I figured we would go see her tomorrow, do like introduction with everyone, because Theren also hasn't gotten to meet her. So I was just going to head back to the inn.
You take the time to walk safely back through the city towards the Blue Water Inn, find your room empty at the top of the stairs. Theron's door still shut. Alizzato fast asleep with his repeating dream. And Tannis, what are you doing for the night?
Tannis is gonna take that conversation that sort of adds to the soup of conflicted thoughts that have been stirred around in his mind. So where he was sitting in front of the fireplace before, sort of conflicted and unsure of what to do, unable to find sleep, that is where he returns. Right to his place in front of the fireplace, more agitated, I think, more conflicted, with a different sense of purpose. Maybe the beginnings of hope, but also the fear that comes with that. I think that this is a very restless night for Tannis.
Sitting there in your armchair, casually staring at the fire. Whether it's because you can't take your eyes off of it, just being so lost in thought, or if it's the only thing that's really finding you comfort in the walls of Vallaki right now. As the house is silent, quiet, no one is stirring except for the small little scratches of an animal upstairs, what you can assume to be a house pet of sorts. And we are going to move to the morning, where Alizzato, you are once again awoken by that refreshing splash on your face. Just like the dream is repeating once more, though this time you find yourself amongst your wet leaves in the corner of your room as a crashing thunderstorm has started early in the morning, with the rain pouring down through the hole in your ceiling as your face begins to drench from the downpour.
I just kind of like peek my head out through the hole in the ceiling, and I just kind of like stick on my tongue, catch whatever rain I can. This is how you greet me today, Mother.
Alizzato, something about today is feeling a bit strange to you. You're not used to waking up feeling this hollow, like there's a pit in your stomach. Some emotion should be there, but you feel drained. It's almost like the joy was sucked out of your body throughout the night.
Look around. I'm imagining wet, puddled mess of leaves and papers all throughout my home. Go to pick up a group of papers, crumble them on my hand, and I watch the water drip from my hands as I wring it out, throw it off to the side. I take my hands and I brush my hair back, soaking wet, tighten up the beard as much as I can, and I just do not let go of this frown. My eyebrows just kind of furrow, and I just remain in this state, looking around, more so disappointed in the space that I'm inhabiting, but also speechless. Guess I make my way towards the door.
You do know that the last time you spoke with the crew, that they were to meet at the church in the morning.
I'll step outside and I look at the ground and the dirt, all of it just getting soaked up. Take the mud and I begin to like run it on my sleeves. I coat my feet in it, and then the same sort of like whatever's left over of the black soot on my face, I try to like almost like patch it with mud and just get myself so filthy dirty. Just kind of reflects how I'm feeling on the inside.
It's so dirty, yet weirdly refreshing to you. It's almost like you're freshening up for the day. As we move to the Blue Water Inn, as Theren and Zielle start waking, you guys are just 2 rooms down from one another. I know Theren would be up first. Theren, what's your morning looking like?
A little bit slower than usual. He's kind of just hanging out in the room for a little bit longer, almost waiting for everybody else to get up and come to him.
Zielle?
After my regular morning ritual, which is prayer but also beauty ritual and stuff, I will take those envelopes and tuck them into my satchel, because I'd probably show them to the group all together whenever that might be later, and I'll skip. No, I'm not skipping. It's too serious. I'm just going down the stairs like a normal person today.
I don't even skip down the stairs.
Theren, you would hear Zielle's door creak open as her high-heeled boots echo throughout the pretty empty in the morning Blue Water Inn. There are a couple patrons here just having breakfast and waking up for the day. Some that stayed here, some that arrived early in the morning. As we move to the Wachter house, to a baggy-eyed Tannis in front of the fire.
Tannis looks about like he should. Little bags under his eyes. The eyebrows are drooping to match. He's got like the end of a cigarette sort of hanging off of his lips. A little bit of stubble has come in. His hair is sort of disheveled and in his face. So he grabs this sort of like new coat that doesn't fit quite as well as his old one, so he's feeling a little bit out of place. He's putting on these clothes that he just bought at a general store, sort of adjusting his gloves. And the last thing that I would like to mention specifically is that there is, and it's been a while since we mentioned it, so I gotta bring it back around, but he has a mask that he wears. And he's got this thing in his bag that he's been sort of like toying with the idea of, sort of like reflecting on it very thematically, very cinematic moment as he thinks about leaving the mask, takes it, puts it in his bag. It's this like steel, faceless, emotionless mask with just like 2 eye holes, puts it in his little messenger bag, flops it over his shoulder, grabs a new cigarette, lights it with a match on his way out the door, but talks to no one as he leaves, and he's going to head over to the inn and post up outside.
That cigarette is the only thing clinging you to life at this point. The groggy, weighted down feeling of a sleepless night is nothing to easily shake off. Zielle, you see Theren come down the stairs eventually, and you can now see that Tannis has walked by the pane of glass outside the front window to the Blue Water Inn.
How'd you sleep? Do you sleep? You don't eat.
Who said this?
I never see you eat. We've talked about this before. Well, not really, because you don't. That would require you responding, but I've asked.
So since you haven't seen me eat means I don't eat.
Are you saying that you don't sleep?
I don't know, do I?
Whatever. Tannis is outside smoking.
What about Ali?
I think he's gonna meet us at the church.
Do you need anything before we go?
No, I don't think so. I have something to say once I have all of you together before we go into the church business, but I'll wait till we go find Ollie.
That's fine. But don't forget what we talked about.
Oh, you mean the hug?
I'm just going to shove her forward.
Tannis, the door to the Blue Water Inn swings open, with a loud creak from the rotted wood, as you see Zielle being pushed outside.
Good morning.
Yeah. To the church, then. God, why is it so bright?
Are you okay?
Yeah, I'm fine. I just didn't sleep great last night. Just go. I'll be fine. I can see it. It's just a little bit bright is all I was trying to say.
All right, into the rain. Here we go. It's gonna be so fun. Zielle does not like the rain. It's not even like a hair or like an outfit thing. Like it's just sad. The rain is sad, and she doesn't like it.
As you dive into the slick cobblestone roads from this thunderstorm, you make your way to the St. Andrew's Church, all the way down the western road to the westernmost portion of Vallaki, conveniently right by where Alizzato's house is, on the other side of the wall. Alizzato, you found yourself perched on these steps of St. Andrew's. Opposite to you, as the others approach, the sour aura of Milovaj, who you are not too fond of. It's almost like Milovaj came to meet here, you came to meet here. You both are kind of conflicting, and you're now sitting on opposite sides of the steps, just waiting for the conjoining party to arrive.
The entire time, I'm just throwing daggers. Just do not let go of looking at him from the side. My hair is like coming down on top of the mud, just red streaks of hair over my eyes, but I am just peering daggers into him.
His head is perpetually down, and every now and then he catches a glimpse of you out of his left eye. And when he does, he tries to hide it, looks back down and kicks a rock into the street, hums a little bit to himself.
Don't kick rocks. Don't disturb nature.
Maybe they shouldn't be where my foot is.
Maybe you shouldn't be where the rocks are.
Couldn't I say the same about you? You're sitting on the stairs.
Don't talk to me.
Right. As he looks back down and goes to kick a rock, but places his foot back down.
Hell yeah.
Don't talk to me. It was crazy. You started the conversation. Don't talk to me.
As through the downpour, you can see the three individuals walking down the street, headed right for you, Alizzato.
I'll remain sitting, just kind of like look up at them. I'll try to kind of force a smile, but still kind of remain in that mental state, very much like the rain and the overall gloom and doom of the world around us. Just kind of write it out.
Could I, from the inn, since I knew we were coming here to see Millie, could I have brought a little treat, like a muffin or a croissant or something, just something like that?
Might I ask where you're keeping it to keep it dry?
In my bag under my cape,
All right.
where the letters are too,
Perfect.
which are also still legible and perfectly dry.
Everything important under my very watertight cape.
And if Ollie is grimacing at us and does not do anything more, then I would like to go to Millie first and give him this treat. So I'll say, good morning. I brought you something before we start our little adventure for the day. Here's a blueberry scone from the inn we're staying at. I just need to talk to Ollie and the others really quick, and then we can all go inside. Or you can even go inside and we'll meet you there in a second, if we're going that way.
Why did you bring me this?
She said, good morning.
Because you're helping us.
Yeah, I have to talk to Father Lucian anyway.
Okay, we'll meet you in there.
Yep. Enjoy the rain.
Enjoy the scone.
So he pushes open the double doors to St. Andrew's and closes them behind him. You four are alone outside, though it is still pouring. If you get to the top of the steps, there is a slight overhang where you would be able to keep dry. You would have to huddle up a little bit, though.
Let's huddle up here. I just want to talk to you guys really quick before we do this. Come on, Allie. I'll offer a hand out to help him up, even though he's all muddy and wet.
Completely soaked. Just a pile of leaves soaked. When I get to the overhang, I'll just kind of like a dog, just like shake off whatever I can. And then just like pet my beard, brush my hair back and go, good morning.
Good morning.
The slightest of a nod.
Okay, let's lead with the good. Well, don't know that it's good for sure, but it's exciting at least. It's a little bit of a mystery. Someone left us some letters in my room overnight.
What?
And she'll like flip up her bag cover and pull them out.
Who was in your room?
Who came into your room?
No, like I'm sure they just like slid them under the door.
Who left letters?
And how did they know it was your room?
I don't know. I haven't opened them, but look, they have this pretty seal. They have our names on it. It's fine. I'm fine. It's fine.
All of our names.
Yes.
Even my name?
Somebody wrote us letters. Look, here, I didn't open it. I wanted to open them all together. This is exciting.
How is this exciting, knowing somebody is watching us?
No, Theron's right. That means someone else knows where we are. And not only where we are, but who we are.
And what if there's someone who wants to help us? Why don't we just open it and find out instead of getting all angry before we've even done it?
Nobody wants to help us, Zielle.
Open yours and read it aloud.
Fine, here, I'll like pass them each their letters and I'm just gonna break the seal on my letter.
I'm gonna open mine up along with her, look at it, close it after 10 seconds, and hand it back to Zielle. I haven't read this language before.
It is in perfectly, beautifully writ common.
Tannis is going to stifle a laugh, but he's going to disguise it as a cough.
I'm gonna tell you that you're gonna see Zielle look at it and she does exactly what I do when I read, which is skip to the bottom of the page.
Yo, same. Thank you. I'm bottom up, baby. I'll fill in the blanks.
ADHD, let's go.
Jeez.
I'm like, I'll just figure it out. Zielle's face is already like dropped, like when she sees who it's from.
I haven't opened mine, but do I recognize the seal?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, then yeah, I definitely don't open mine.
Uh-oh. Listen, Tannis, you don't have to worry about anyone else watching us, because it's just him. Here, let me actually read the whole thing. To the lost souls of Avrosa, I, Count Devil Mr. Devilpants, cordially invite you to a masquerade ball to be held at Castle Ravenloft. This grand event shall take place on the eve of the full moon, a night where shadows dance and whispers of the past echo through the halls. Cloak yourselves in your finest attire and conceal your identities with masks of intrigue and allure, for it is in anonymity that true revelry is found. The night will be adorned with the finest of wines, the most delectable of feasts, and music that shall stir the very souls within. Do not disappoint me. Your presence will be noted, and while not required, your absence, well, let us not dwell on such grim possibilities. Until the eve of the full moon, I remain the devil himself, blah, 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 blah. All the titles and stuff. So it's not all bad. A ball?
Burn that invitation now. I will not be going to a ball.
Theren, burning the invitation now does nothing.
Alizzato has never gone to the Count's castle for one of these events, though you know them to be held somewhat periodically, usually for bigger occasions. You don't really know what happens at these events, though a invitation to the castle is nothing to scoff at and is usually a sign of respect for a night of respect. Theren and Tannis, now that you have seen the wax seal, this is the same wax seal from the letter from Aragol back at the Enchanted Hearth.
So this whole mission, we were always going to come here. This was his idea from the start.
Yes, but how are we to get into the castle? We need to be close to him to learn anything, any weaknesses, strengths, anything we need to know.
If he has this much planned for us already, how much more does he have? He's led us here.
Yes, to let him play his games. We'll play them too. If he didn't send straight poison in this letter after the way the two of you acted last time, then I think we're okay.
I think he needs us for more than that.
Yeah, evidently I'm his, what did he say? Brother? Alizzato, very important question. The clothing shops here, do they have a tailor in this town?
Yes, they do. Gilly and Lottie at the Beast Rose.
Yeah, what she said.
I heard they're the best.
All right, worth noting. Anybody who is paying any really close attention might see that he's definitely trying to mask some genuine excitement with his typical sarcasm.
Theren, you're gonna need a suit.
No.
You promised.
You do need a suit, Theren.
Listen, we can plan this later. We have time. We could even go shopping later today. Maybe after we do this.
Wait, I'm sorry, hold on. I hate to cut you off, Z, but you said This was the good news. Were you following that up with bad news?
No, I just wanted to make sure that everyone wanted to do this. I don't know exactly what this is, but clearly there was already a demon involved in this, and I feel like he, and she'll hold up her letter, has something to do with it as well. And you all have a choice. You don't have to follow this through. We'll get the bones, make sure Irina's safe before we head off anywhere else. That was always our plan coming here. And especially before the chaos of whatever's to come with the festival too. I just want to make sure she's good. I'd love to have all of you with me, always, but you also don't have to if you don't want to. Not bad news, I just wanted to make sure.
I'll just kind of look at Zielle. Do you think you'll find answers in this masquerade? What do you think awaits for you? Should we go?
I don't know. I am partial to a themed event, but if we're going to do anything about the problem with Strahd, we will need to get closer to him. We will need to know a lot more than we know, and no one has been able to help us this far. Do I know how long, like when is the next full moon, right?
You could guess a couple days.
Oh, okay, great. We're gonna do all this first. Take care of business here, make sure Irina is safe, make sure as many of these townspeople are safe as we can, and then I would vote that's our next mission. But everything we do right now, going to get these bones, going to the festival, you all have a choice. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. So I just wanted that to be clear before we go in.
Theren, can you make me a perception check, please?
I'll say that as that's happening, Zielle, I'm still holding on to the letter, but when you said Strahd, there was like a definite tighter grip on the paper itself. And then my eyes then shoot back up to you, and then I go, I'll keep this close.
Right now, all I'm asking you to choose is what we're doing right this second. We're going to find out what happened to those bones. We're going to help the people of this church be safe, help Irina have a safe place before whatever comes next. We can decide on the ball the day of.
And is the Festival of the Blazing Sun tomorrow?
Yeah.
Yo, these days are stacked, my guy.
Well, this is 1 week in Barovia, baby.
It's definitely a couple days out. I want to say like 5 to 7.
Okay.
The festival's tomorrow, and then the ball isn't like the very next day.
Oh, okay.
Theren, what was your perception check?
A 9.
Never mind.
Do I use my inspiration to get a better perception check?
Why shouldn't you?
Oh.
I mean, Theren is an agent of chaos. What if it could save our lives? Well, you're gonna find.
All right, fine. I'm using my inspiration.
I'm kidding.
This is a horrible choice.
It's done. It's done. I already clicked
I
it.
need to stop daring Theren to do things.
I rolled a 13 that time.
As you are standing outside of St. Andrew's, every single time you've been here, the last time you were waiting outside St. Andrew's, you were in a pretty deep conversation with Alizzato where your focus wasn't wandering about. Being that you are so close to the western gate now, out the western gate, where you came from the east, you came into Vallaki from the east, we are now at the far west end, there's a signpost that catches your eye that leads out, sits about maybe 10 feet in front of the gate, and has a couple signs listed on it in wood pointing out of the gate.
Alizzato, our last conversation we had here, do you remember this being here? And I'll point towards the direction of the new signpost there.
You pass that signpost every day coming into Vallaki. It's like a directional post that sits just in front of the gate, telling you if you want to go out the west gate, here's what you could potentially find if you wander off into Barovia. Alizzato, you would be able to tell Theren that this sign reads Kresk, which you know to be a smaller town out west, northwest-ish, the Wizards of Wine's winery, and also a little more faded, potentially scratched out at this point, Argynvost Holt.
It's always been there. Where you're looking to go, Kresk? The winery? The Argynvost Holt?
Yes.
Ease yourself there and what's the excitement for?
I apologize.
You don't gotta apologize to me, boy. If you want to get somewhere, you want to get somewhere fast, and you want to spill a little blood, I'm always with you. But if you're looking to go to some fucking makeshift place and tell more tales at the local tavern, I mean, we can do that together. That's not a problem. But if you want to get some wine, I can take you to get some wine.
Wait, Theren, what is that?
Argynvostholt.
The two of you have never heard this name said once.
I've heard of it years ago.
Well, you heard of a place years ago, and your response was, that was visceral.
Wait, so surely you weren't. Were you socializing with someone to find out about this place?
No,
Who told you about it then?
I heard about it when I was a child.
Heard what?
It's something my siblings and we always wanted to go. And I just thought maybe it'd be fitting to bring my brother for once.
Wait, here? To Argynvostholt? You heard of Okay,
We heard tales, all right?
that's all they are.
It made him happy.
I'll just kind of like stop, lower my grin slightly, and then I take a step back. All right, hey, meant no offense. If you want to head to the Argynvostholt, I mean, all you're gonna find there is ruin. It's all just broken memories, scattered hopes and dreams, a lot of foundation that's been littered with tales and fantasies.
If you promise to take me there, and I'll look at Zielle, I promise to wear any suit you pick out for me.
Oh my God! Yes, we'll go there. Zielle is not even trying to like perceive if you're lying or anything. Like she wouldn't. She would just trust you.
If you promise me.
I promise.
You see Theren staring right into your eyes with like the most desperation you've ever seen from him.
Hello, promise? Pinky promise?
He'll just hold his hand up in the air, awkward, just fingers spread out a little bit, just unsure of what to do.
Oh my God, you're like an... Okay, she like reaches her arm around like to like wrap her pinky around your pinky of your open hand and just kind of like shake it and be like, okay, good enough.
He goes like left and right, like sideways.
Okay,
like
yeah, no, that's how we do it.
As this is happening, can I make an insight check on Theren?
Sure.
Sure.
I saw that in D&D Beyond.
22, but what I was trying to decipher was just more of like for me, it's very much a, place of tales and folklore and such, very distant, who would bother sort of going there. But that sort of switch from him to be like, I'll do whatever you want if you take me there. What's the underlying thing? I know he mentioned his brother, but can I pick at anything else?
Desperation and necessity. You can just tell that the way that he immediately, when you started to say Argynvostholt, he just burst into it, and it was almost like excitement coming out of him, and then you could see that desperation and the need to not even bother about anything else, just to focus on that alone.
As the whole conversation was happening, the pinky and the hands and all that, I'm just sort of underneath my mess of hair and mud. I'm still just kind of looking at Theren, but assessing him more than anything else.
Okay, so we'll figure out the ball. We'll figure out the outfits later. Don't worry, I'll help. It's fine. We all want to do this. We're all ready to do this right now. I don't know if there's more demons involved or things like that. Everyone wants to do this.
Yeah.
Theren, I would understand you got nearly sliced in half by one yesterday pursuing this, so...
I'll be fine.
And Ollie?
From today on, we journey together.
She's gonna put her arms around... I don't know who the two next to me are, but I'm putting my arms around them. Let's just say a little prayer, just to be sure. I just want to say just a quick little prayer, nothing too complicated. Like, dear Suni, please watch over us as we do our best to protect people around us and preserve the light and watch out for each other. Thank you.
Alizzato, Constitution saving throw.
Against God?
Constitution saving throw. An 8. Keep in mind, God gives his toughest battles to his strongest soldiers.
You're so right, King.
As Zielle, with her head down, deep in prayer, says this quick tiding to you all for your safety and your health. As the prayer ends and the silence hits, all that breaks the pitter-patter of the rain and the thunder is the grumble of your stomach, Alizzato. and you have a absolute hankering for a pie. So much so that you need pie right now. I'm saying right now. Until you get pie, Alizzato, you have disadvantage on every single skill check that you do.
What is happening right now?
If you're holding on to me, Zielle, I'll just kind of like perch my head up and look over to the empty square, and I go, Tannis, you remember where the fuck that lady was with the pies?
The windmill. Was the wind? I don't remember where the pie. What is going on? What? Why?
I look over and I go, buy your fucking clothes, get whatever the fuck you need. I'll be right back. And I'll just bolt. After having said we journey together now, I'm just going to bolt in the direction.
Yeah, and after just agreeing to go, oh, okay, I mean, it's your choice, that's okay.
The pie was not that good. I don't know. There's something else at play here. I don't know.
Was it just a pie?
It was just a pie. It was actually just a pie. It's not like the cigarettes. It was just a pie.
Alizzato, where should we meet you after you get your pie?
Why didn't we just tell him to come back here? I mean, it's...
Just come meet us and we're just...
We're like
okay.
screaming this across the streets, you know?
I'll be right back.
Don't go too fast, it's slippery.
Alizzato, I will have you relinquish 1 gold if you have it.
Oh boy.
That's an expensive pie.
Listen, rent just went up. I'm not saying who did that, but rent did just go up.
And is it and it's still raining?
It's
is
still
there like
rainy?
a plastic cover to this?
Yes,
like,
Mima would have set up her little shop.
It's
her
a little cloth
yeah,
on it.
she has a cart, so she would have set up her little cloth awning that goes over it, almost like a convertible top.
wonderful.
The pies definitely are not warm, but they're pies.
No problem.
Damn, Tannis has her hustling out here in a store? This old lady.
She's got to pay that rent, right?
Hey, you gotta do what you gotta do. I will let you decide what pie it is, and then we will move back to the church. We'll have you come in like 2-3 minutes.
Perfect. It's the same fucking pie.
With the heavy creak of St. Andrew's Church doors gliding open, you see Milivage close to the altar talking with Father Lucian. You can overhear the reverberating echo of his apology for being gone for so long, describing that he was ill and he was trying to not only tend to himself, but also tend to the children at the orphanage. He'll get back on work as soon as he can, starting today. After, the 3 of you show up and begin to walk down the aisle, with Irina just exiting her room and meeting you all by the altar. Hello, everyone. Good morning.
It's wet out there. Do not recommend.
I could hear it. It's actually kind of peaceful in here now. The pitter-patter of the rain on the roof is eerily calming. So what are you all up to today? What's on the agenda?
We found our lead here for the bones for the hallowed ground. Half subtly gesture at Milivage.
Milivage, overhearing that, quickly leaves his conversation with Father Lucian. Can we keep that down a little bit?
Yeah, we can, but she's with us. Are you feeling better?
Much, actually, for today. Yeah.
And how's Felix?
Good. I think it's going to take some time for the kids to get used to Felix, but
Yeah.
we're trying to make him feel as welcome as he can.
How are the other children feeling?
Good. And sleeping. We had our first quiet night in a while.
And no other issues.
Aside from the random toddler crying, no.
It's good to hear.
Should we make this church just as peaceful and quiet?
Yeah.
Let's go see the coffin maker.
The bones are with a coffin maker?
I suppose so.
Thematic, I guess.
What you did, you said you were doing it for the kids, right? What do you mean by that? How does this help them?
The bones don't help the kids, the money does. Henrik came to me a bit ago and asked for the location in exchange for a lot of money. I gave it to the orphanage and hired 2 hunters. When the whole Felix thing happened, and some of the kids ran off into the woods. There's 3 missing boys. I hired the local wolf hunters. See if they could go scout them out.
Oh,
I didn't think the bones were that important.
that was very brave of you. But unfortunately, we need the bones to keep people safe here as well. So maybe we can leave you out of it if you'll just show us to his place.
He peers through the two of you, Zielle and Theren, back at the door to a wet Alizzato coming inside. Face, I'm assuming, covered in banana cream pie?
No.
Oh.
It's very immaculate, but I am kind of like holding just something in my hand, but I'm just cupping it both so you can't really see what it is. And then when I come in, I'll shimmy my way over to Tannis. Tannis,
Yeah.
let me see your hand.
Which hand?
Any hand.
I hold out my regular hand.
In a piece that was like, it was clearly a perfect little like slice, but I just inserted my fingers and then clawed hand it out. I just basically take a little bit of banana cream pie and I go, here you go, man, enjoy. And then I make my way over to Theren and Zielle and I try to do like the same thing. I'm like, hey Theren, you wanna try the single most delicious thing in this world has ever tasted before?
I'm not a fan of...
Just give me your hand.
Wait, hold on. It's in a tray or it's just like straight up in his hand?
Like I ate a pie and then I just have a little bit that I just held in my hand and I just walked with that little bit and then I'm just pigeony giving you like, just like, here you go.
I actually don't eat sweets this early in the day.
The same look I give to Theren, I give to you, Zielle. I'm just like out of absolute shock. Like,
Let's go get more later. We could get more later.
Tannis sort of moment like recoil, and then it's just like shrugs and eats the pie out of his hand, and even just sort of like licks his fingers afterwards and gives like a nod to Alizzato.
in the disgust, I'm making my way closer to Tannis, so I'm just standing by Tannis now. I have found my allegiance.
Alizzato, you see Milivaj peeking through the two of them. You know where the coffin maker is? He's very hesitant to speak to you, Alizzato, Milivaj.
Glance at him. I shove the rest of the pie in my mouth. Why are you looking for him? Now it's like my beard is just covered in it.
I'm not. You are.
You got a fucking mouth on you, you know?
Do you know where it is or not?
Alizzato, it's all of us. We're all looking for it.
You know where it is, Ollie.
Do I know?
You would know where it is. Henrik resides on the very far eastern end of town, more in the slums sort of area, right by the gate where you all entered Vallaki. Though, if you were to go left, you would go to the Arasek stockyard. If you hang right, it would be along that row of shops and houses.
Look at Zielle and I go, oh, I know. Is that where we're going now?
Yes, we're gonna try to leave Milivaj out of it, but... And she'll turn to Milivaj, put both hands on his shoulders. Millie, is there anything else that we need to know that would be helpful to us getting back those bones?
He looks at you in the eyes.
Gold eye stare. It's like the blue eye stare, like the Gojo stare, but it's a gold eye.
He's trying to dart his eyes away from you, but he can't help but bring his gaze back up to meet yours. Henrik's old. He kind of sucks. I don't know.
Anything helpful?
That's it.
Good enough for me.
Okay, I'll take my hands off his shoulders.
I like you.
Before you take your hands off, if you're looking for a fight, you're not going to find one, at least with Henrik.
God.
Why would we be looking for a fight?
In case he doesn't hand him over, the place is boarded up.
Tannis kicks a pew.
It's alright, we just want to talk to him. We're not trying to cause trouble for you or him or anyone else. We're just trying to make things better for everyone.
Good luck getting in.
Thanks, I guess. Irina, maybe you should stay here till we get the bones. I'm not sure if walking around, even in the storm, I mean, what do you think?
I mean, the gloom and the storm definitely helps conceal my identity a little bit more, but if the bones are right around the corner, I see no reason to leave.
Okay, maybe he still has them and we can bring them right back.
Sounds good to me. I wish you the best of luck.
Great. Say a little prayer for us.
Just like you taught me.
Oh my God.
Bestie. Give her a little hug and walk out.
Tannis is still upset that there's not going to be a fight.
As you guys are making your way out of the church,
Yes, we're gonna follow Alizzato, I suppose.
with the doors of St. Andrew's Cathedral clashing behind you, Alizzato, you are able to lead them across town. Very opposite end. This is the easternmost portion of town. where you know Henrik van der Voort resides, where he's the local coffin maker. If someone passes, you go get a coffin from Henrik and you bury him behind the cathedral.
Do I have some form of feeling in regards to Henrik, apart from like a past or anything like that?
Probably the same feeling that Milivaj has. He's old and he kind of sucks.
As we're walking, I'll go, I don't like that kid. I don't. There's something about him. But he's right. Henrik kind of sucks. You're the fucking creeps.
Maybe you stay out here and we take care of it ourselves.
No, I mean, I don't mind talking to him. He's old. He's just gonna be... Like, out of all the things that we've done so far, this is like the least exciting thing, but I know it's important.
Well, then maybe we make it quick for you.
No, don't change plans because of me. I'm just vocalizing how I feel about this fucking guy, that's all.
Yeah, Theren, he's just telling you how he feels about this guy. Lay off.
Try to help him out, make it quick. Less awkwardness for him.
So there's like a door for us to knock on, or it's just like boarded up, or... He said good luck getting in, which just worried me.
Yes, you arrive to a row of somewhat beaten down shops or homes, depending on who owns them. You see every window of Henrik's shop is a latticework of iron fitted with squares of frosted glass, all locked from the inside. And the outside doors of the shop are barred, shut from within.
You said that there's no, lock on our side, correct?
No lock on your side, but trying the handle, the door does not budge.
I'd like to take a look around. You said it's kind of abandoned-ish? Are there a lot of people around? Or is it kind of empty?
There's people here and there, though as you get further away from the town square, this is a little bit more of a rundown sort of area. People do refer to this portion of Vallaki as the slum sort of area. A little bit more rundown homes. You wouldn't say abandoned, as you can see some candlelight flickering in other windows here and there, but this one in particular seems to be running and up. You know he does work out of here. Alizzato can confirm that.
If you want me to try, I can just try to force it open. There's no one right here. I'll just kind of give it the old 1-2 and...
Should we not try to simply knock on the door at first?
Yes, that's a great idea, Theren. I'm so proud of you.
I'll go over to the door and kick it.
As a bang is heard throughout the alleyway, you just hear from inside, "We're closed. Go away.
We need to speak to you.
Go away."
We could set the place on fire, and then he'll probably come out, right?
Yeah, and then we'll get locked up in jail, or I guess they don't even do that here. They just chop off your head, so maybe not?
Well, I mean, tomorrow's gonna happen, so it's sort of works out in our favor. I mean, if we're gonna do a crime, tonight's the night, right?
Sir, Hendrik, we were sent by the church. This is rather urgent. If you could please let us in, we'll be quick about it.
Fuck the church and fuck you.
Oh, no! No, Henrik. You old fucking bat. You don't speak to anyone, let alone this fucking radiant beam of light out here. Alright? So get your crouchy ass old fucking self out here, open the goddamn door before I bust your fucking brains in.
There is no sound from inside, at least coming from Hendrik. The only sound you can hear is faint footsteps and a beam being removed from the front door, though the door does not open to invite you in.
I'm just gonna take a step back and I'll look at the three of them. I just kind of nod.
Theren, this is a handle. This is what we do. We put our hand on it and push.
The door opens and you see no being. You just hear the shifting of slow footsteps moving to the left as Henrik picks up a hammer and begins woodworking once again, leaving you all to the entrance of the door.
Shout inside. Hendrik, I was joking. I hope you know that. I'm not too keen in being an expert with my words. I hope you can forgive it. You more insulted my companions here. And, you know, I won't stand for that. I could really care less about what you think of me. May we come in? He's a fucking old bat. All right, go ahead.
I'll step in first and take a look around all the corners and each side before letting anybody else in.
There is one main room to the left where Hendrik works. You can see this is very open, first floor. To the left, you see workbenches lining the wall with different stations for separate portions of the woodworking process for building these coffins. You can see half-built coffins and scrap wood line the walls. They clutter the floor. Half-built coffins are leaned against walls. And the rightmost portion has nothing but a table and some chairs. You can assume it's somewhat of a resting/dining area with a door. If you're coming in from the door, the northeasternmost corner.
Keeping an eye on all the doors, I'm going to let everybody kind of file in as I stand by the door.
Tannis is hopeful that this goes badly. So he's going to walk in. He's not going to take the lead, but he's definitely like, please be difficult. I'm begging you.
As you all walk in, you see the back of his head, though Alizzato can tell you that Henrik is indeed a dead-eyed loner. He has a scruffy, wide gray beard, large bags under his eyes. You can't really tell if they're from old age or just lack of sleep. He has scraggly gray hair that's combed over his bald head. He's wearing basic clothes with an apron on. He's got necessary tools stuffed in the apron, hammers, extra nails, anything you can think of that are slowly peeking out while he goes back to his work. As he, over his shoulder, I have work to do.
We're here to talk about Milovaj.
You don't have to stop on our account, as long as you can multitask.
Boy's got nothing to do with me.
We're here to talk about what he's brought.
He ain't bring me nothing.
We know about the bones.
You don't know nothing.
Tannis is going to eject the blade into his hand as he's slowly starting to see it going poorly.
He is not turned to you. His back is towards you as he is just hammering profusely into a board.
I would like to circle around. I don't know if I can get fully in front of him.
Not fully, though you could at least come to his side, whichever one you prefer. He is swinging his hammer with his right hand, if that helps your decision.
Can I go to his left side?
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to stand right behind him.
I'm going to put my elbows on the table. Like, I'm going to lean forward, elbows on, like, the workbench so I can, like, lean forward and trying to, like, get his eye to eye, or at least showing him I'm engaging. Have you ever loved anyone?
Don't know what you're talking about.
You've never had anyone you cared about, ever?
Definitely not you.
I just meant anyone that you wanted to protect or provide for. I mean, you are here working a job, surely someone you wanted to take care of, provide for?
No words.
There's someone we owe that to, that we want to take care of them, and it'll help other people in the process as well, so even better. We just need to know where the bones are so we can bring them back to the church to protect her. It's really important.
He does one final strike as he cocks his head towards you. I don't know what you're talking about.
Tannis is going to let the blade fall. The chain sort of drags out, so you can hear this like horrible sound. Dull, but since it's so quiet after that final strike, you hear like the muffled sound of metal against bone as a chain ejects from his arm.
I'm putting a hand out, like behind this man. I'm like, stop!
He sort of starts pacing, swinging it around a little bit. I was kind of hoping you'd be difficult.
Would some money help? Or what do you want? What do you even want? Why are you even involved in this in the first place?
I don't need nothing.
Are you working with him?
He turns his head away from you when you say that.
I'll step a little closer, keeping a distance from Hendrik, but when he does that, after Zielle said that, I am going to take a step closer towards him.
I need you all to get out.
A dull red glow starts to trickle down the chain connected to this dart. He would feel his heartbeat in his ears as Tannis chooses him for his mark. Swings the chain around one more time, holds it in his hand, and looks back. I think at this point he's paced around so that he can like sort of make eye contact. Whether or not this guy is looking him in the eyes, he is looking into his eye sockets. The eyes just sort of like wide and predatory. Do you want to have fun? Or do you want to give us the bones?
Cocks his head from Zielle, hammer still against the hammered in nail. Are you threatening me?
I'm promising you.
Stop, Tannis.
All the leaves in Alizzato's entire outfit begin to turn red.
He looks at you, Tannis, upstairs, and spits in your face.
Oh.
Tannis, no. I got like a hand out on the chest. I'm like, no, please. No. He's a grumpy old man. What do you gain by fighting a decrepit old man?
I'm not gonna fight an old man. I'm gonna kill an old man.
No, stop.
Go upstairs.
I ain't going upstairs.
Not you. You stay right where you are.
What's upstairs? The bones?
Theron's gonna start going upstairs.
I'm going to keep my eye on Henrik out of concern. And then I'm going to sort of be like splitting between Henrik and Theren as Theren begins to go up the stairs.
Theren, as you walk over to the single door leading up to a hauled staircase, you give it a little open and you begin to walk upstairs. As you go to open the second door that leads to the attic, you reach down, turn the handle, you open the door. Upstairs lies a storage room filled to the brim with wooden coffins. Some rotted, others stacked on top of one another, others propped up against the walls. Alizzato, you are proficient in Arcana. Somewhere in this house, you don't know where and you can't pinpoint it, but it did come from the right. You heard the slight shattering of a spell. And all of a sudden, you just feel that heaviness, that weight. Like the entire room just dipped down a floor, like there are eyes on you. Theren, the dust in this room almost threatens to suffocate you. Nothing has been up here in quite some time as you start to push aside the debris. There's a single window on the far wall, allowing a solitary sliver of light to enter and somewhat illuminate this dust-covered loft. It is, again, filled to the brim with these wooden coffins, though you feel it too. Something is not right. It feels as if you're being weighted down, like there are eyes on the back of your head, though you know Alizzato just watched you walk up those stairs. As the lid to one of these coffins bursts open, accompanied by a calm yet mocking laugh, you see a massive beast of a half-orc towering above you, hulking muscles rippling in a rusted plate armor, his eyes glowing a crimson red with decaying pale green skin. Accompanied on his chest plate is a cracked and torn and scratched at, stabbed at medallion that you know to be the holy symbol of Sunni. You've seen Zielle carry it time and time again. Before you fully have the time to react, he steps out of this wooden coffin and lifts a large war horn to his lips. As his pale hand grasps this war horn, you hear it echo throughout the attic, deep into Vallaki, as all around the room, the coffins begin to stir.
Can I say that I just like book it in the direction of Theren?
Absolutely.
I throw this dart at the throat of this old man.
Tannis rolled a hit. As all around the room, Theren, pale hands are clawing their way through the decaying coffins, others bursting at the seams, completely crumbling to the strength of the beings encased inside. The half-orc figure before you smiles coldly as he throws a sack to a swift elven vampire spawn by the window.
Corinth, get the bones to the meeting point. The rest of you lot know what to do! I'll keep these fools occupied.
You see the swift elf grabs the bag, smashes the window with her skeletally thin elbow, and plunges herself out the window as the rest of the 18 vampire spawn follow behind her, leaping out the window in different directions, some dropping down below while others climb up to the rooftops. Before Tannis's dart hits Henrik, he muttles, "He's coming." Tannis, what did you roll to hit?
17.
That hits, do damage.
5 damage.
He's coming. He's... As the dart protrudes through his neck and out the left side, Zielle, you see it, his head turned away from you, though a dart protruding from the back of his neck as blood spurters across your face. Zielle, in your mind, as the blood hits you, a voice you know too well. You couldn't just leave things be, now could you? Let the feast begin. And for today, that's a wrap.
No, it's not.
No. Again right now. I'm gonna kill all of them.
It's the one half orc upstairs, and then all the vampire spawn went out with the.
They plunged through the window. Some crawled up onto the rooftops. Others just scattered.
Damn.
The half orc is standing there blocking Theren from the entrance. Alizzato, you would have parked yourself and ran towards the hallway that leads up to the enclosed attic. It is an enclosed hallway with doors on the top and the bottom. The door being open.
Okay.
You get to the staircase and all you see going up, what you thought would be Theren, is the backside of a ginormous half-orc fitted in plate that you can see the back of his neck is decaying and rotting off as he's beginning to grab this large warhammer. We gotta go talk about this, and actually, speaking of, we are coming up on episode 20, and I wanted to do behind the scenes for episodes in increments of 10. So after next episode, which is gonna be a good one, we will have a little sit-down chat for everybody. It'll go public. We'll all just hang out for a little bit and go over the last 10 episodes of Nocturne.
Imagine our characters die next episode and we have to do the behind the scenes.
It's a farewell more than a behind the scenes.
Right.
Yeah.
It's an in memoriam.
Yeah, right.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.
Bye.
Wow.